Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm here for another quick review of Monday Night Raw. This is from this past Monday, the May 19th, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw. It took place in Greenville, North Carolina. This is the go-home show for this coming Saturday's edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, and we had some Money in the Bank qualifying matches as well. Two women's matches, actually, believe it or not. Do we have any men's? No, we didn't have, just women. Yeah, just women's qualifying matches we had on Raw this week. Interesting choice, but okay. And a couple of promos. It felt like it was a shorter episode, I thought, in my opinion. I kind of liked it a little bit more than last week's Raw, though. Just a wee bit more, probably because we did get some direction towards Money in the Bank. I'm not going to lie, though. I have completely given up on trying to make my Money in the Bank card right now. I've had my predictions, but then like everything goes out the window. Like I thought they would have Io versus Rhea for the women's world title on this show, but now Rhea Ripley's in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And a couple other people I thought was going to be in it that are not going to be. So, and also I have no clue what direction John Cena is going in for Money in the Bank as well. So, I know I don't like doing this, but I'm just waiting until after Money in the Bank to finalize my Money in the Bank card. I have stuff started with that, but, you know, whatever. But I'm going to roll through Raw. Like I said, this week and last week, I just need a little bit of a break from live streams. So I'm going to record Raw and SmackDown this week, and I'm also going to review Saturday Night's Main Event, but that one will be live when I review Saturday Night's Main Event this coming weekend, and we'll go from there. But overall, Raw was a good show. Like I said, was it must-see? No. We had a nice return for Kairi Sane. We also did have an unfortunate injury for Zoey Stark, which looked pretty bad. And some other odds and ends here and there. Again, not too much, but it was good. I liked what we got. Starting with this opening promo with Logan Paul coming out. Of course, he wasn't my favorite part of the promo. Coming out to hype up his world title match with Jey Uso this coming Saturday. Saying it's fact that he's going to beat Jey Uso and blah, 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 this and that. How Jey tapped Gunther out of WrestleMania. He gets mad at the crowd and for yeeting, and he says he won his first singles title 12 years before Jey ever won his first singles title, and Jey's barely hanging on to the title, and he's going to knock him out on Saturday and be your new world champ. Usual Logan Paul crap. But Gunther came out. Now, Gunther, for some reason, is challenging the winner of this match to a rematch on the June 9th episode of Raw. Why that episode? Not just do a rematch of Money in the Bank? I don't know. That's strange. But Gunther came out, and he admires Logan's confidence. He's going to beat a man that beat him for the world title. He thinks Logan's better than... So Logan thinks he's better than him as well? Confidence is good. And the crowd should give Logan some more respect. And whatnot. So he basically is putting over Logan. Logan's like, yeah, Gunther understands it. Gunther's my number one fan, basically. And he goes, but there's something you can learn from me and stuff I can learn from you. He says, Logan Paul as WWE champion would be good for business. But that may be good for business for Logan, but to Gunther, it's personal. Being Jey for the world title is very personal to him. So if Logan takes that away from him, he'll take it as personal disrespect. Just ask Pat McAfee. Now here he acts getting disrespected by non-wrestlers. And Pat showed, he at least posted, Pat at least showed some heart. But he looks into Logan's eyes, he sees no heart, which is true. And if Logan would be Jay, then he is going to eat Logan alive. And then Gunther leaves. Logan's talking more trash. Jey Uso comes out from nowhere behind and super kicks him. And he gets on the mic and briefly says he's going to beat him on Saturday. And then he'll see the ring general in Phoenix. Okay, cool there. We did get footage of Roxanne Perez signing her Raw contract. She's officially a member of Monday Night Raw. Again, I still thought it was kind of odd they randomly had her and Julia as a heel tag team just to have them lose and then split up with each going to different shows. Don't know why, especially since they really didn't have much of an allegiance on NXT. I don't know, but they're both, on separate shows. And Roxanne was going to be in a Money in the Bank qualifying match later on in the show. Before we got there, though, Jey Uso ran into Paul Heyman backstage. And he says everyone claims that he betrayed Punk. He betrayed Roman. And to do that, you have to stab someone in the back. Do something untoward. So he wants to say this to his face, so no one can accuse him of betraying the world champion. Jay's going to fight Bron Breakker tonight in a non-title match. Bron doesn't want Jay's title, but he wants to slow down Jay's momentum. And whether or not it's him or Logan Paul or Gunther, the long-term plan for the world title is Seth Rollins, which is not a prediction. That is a spoiler. We all know that eventually Seth's going to get that world title back, especially if he's aligned with Paul Heyman. AJ Styles and Penta had a match with Finn Balor and Judgment Day. Was fun. The usual shenanigans we get from Judgment Day in there. Eventually Judgment Day would win, though, thanks to help from El Grande Americano doing his usual shtick on Penta. And Finn Balor gets a rare victory. Cool, but we had something a little interesting later on in the show. They'll get to that in a little bit. Io Sky is backstage being interviewed, says she knows what it takes to win Money in the Bank, and she's ready for whoever wins. Then Becky Lynch rolls up and says Sky's never beaten her, and then they trade some words back and forth before Becky heads out to the ring. But before we got to her match, Logan Paul had a backstage with Seth Rollins. And Seth says, Jay's going to pay tonight, and he's not going to be 100% for Saturday, which means the odds are in Logan's favor. If he can get past Jay, he can get past Gunther, Seth will be next in line. And he says he'll know who to thank for having the world title on his shoulder. And maybe they could rewind WrestleMania 39 again, this time with the title. Which that WrestleMania 39 match was a great match also. But I'm pretty sure not going to do a heel Seth Rollins versus the heel Logan Paul. But I don't think Logan's going to win on Saturday. Again, at some point, as much as I don't like the guy personally, I can understand them putting them putting the world title on him eventually. This just isn't the time right now, though, if I'm being 100% honest. It really isn't. So, I'm still going to say Logan's not winning on Saturday still. Becky Lynch had a triple threat match with Natalya and Roxanne Perez for the women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. That was a really good match. Still great back and forths. Good to see Natty in there as well because she's rarely on TV anymore. Why? I don't know why. But she's doing some indies work right now, which I hear she's killing it. Eventually, though, Roxanne Perez does get the win with Pop Rocks on Natalya. She's qualifying in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And Becky Lynch got taken out of the match by Lyra Valkyria, who returned back to get some revenge on Becky after what Becky did to her after their match at Backlash, where Lyra retained her title. So we all know that feud is far from over there. But Roxanne Perez is going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, as she should be. So we'll see where that goes as well. Sami Zayn was backstage with Jey Uso. And he sees everything that's going on, but he wants Jay to know that he's taking care of Seth and Bron and Paul on Saturday. And they try to play a numbers game tonight. He's got his back. And just prepare for that main event. We also have Akira Tozawa getting set up for his match with Rusev next week, but Chad Gable rolls up and mocks them, and then he's like, "Hey, by the way, when are Ivy and I getting our Money in the Bank qualifying matches as well?" And of course, they roll up and say they don't want the War Raiders to win, right? So Pierce tells them to take it literally anywhere else, and that says that later on they do announce that we're gonna have a triple threat match for the World Tag Titles next week on Raw. Thought they said that for Money in the Bank, but who knows? But yeah, New Day, War Raiders, and American Made should be a good triple threat match. That's why I kind of wanted it on pay-per-view. Grayson Waller had a match with Sheamus. They gave them more time definitely than when they gave with Sheamus and Austin Theory. Sheamus won with a bro kick, but what was interesting though was the crowd was getting behind Austin Theory. Even Austin Theory kind of seemed a little surprised by that. I know they're still here and there teasing a split between Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, which please do so, because this is just not working, and both men are just literally treading the same spot in water. So I wonder if that's an indication of when the time does come, who they're going to turn face, who they're going to turn heel, or who they're going to keep heel, who they're going to turn face. Honestly, the reaction he got on Raw this week, I consider giving Austin Theory a shot as a face. Like he's had his runs as a heel. Like honestly, why not try him as a face? People know he's talented. It's just that he needs a personality. And I thought he was getting somewhere with that when Triple H first took over, but then it kind of fizzled out, if you know what I mean. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, then they randomly announced that the NBA player who was involved in a segment on SmackDown last year, that Tyrese Halliburton, whatever it is going to be a playable character for 2K25. Why? I don't know. It's kind of random. Or I might imply maybe he's getting a celebrity match soon. Who the heck knows? I don't know. But we have that in there. Gunther had a backstage segment when Seth Rollins rolls up to talk to Gunther. Rollins has been a while. He wants to let him know, though, that the work he did with the world title was pretty good. But Gunther says he's short-sighted for a visionary because the ring general is the future around here. And Seth doesn't like that and says if he wins the title again, he will make himself a target. And Gunther says he can't wait. And in fact, he eagerly awaits it. He's not afraid at all. Are they teasing the face turn for Gunther? Could they be? I don't know. We'll see, though. So the next match was the other women's triple threat qualifying match for the Money in the Bank contract. Rhea Ripley took on the returning Kairi Sane and Zoey Stark. Well, first to get out of the way here, Rhea Ripley won the match. She's in Money in the Bank. Yes, I would rather have had her fight Io for the world title at Money in the Bank. But Rhea is in the ladder match. But the big takeaway from this match, though, was unfortunately not Kairi's return. And apparently also, before this incident happened, they didn't want Kairi to take the pin in her first match back. But she had to because Zoey Stark got injured in the match. Zoey Stark was going through for her signature dropkick maneuver she does. And somehow her leg just buckled. And yeah, it looked really bad. She pretty much blew out her knee. So badly so that she couldn't finish the match. And it basically turned into a one-on-one match with Rhea and Kairi. That sucks, for sure. Zoey Stark really has not had the best luck recently. I mean, you think about it, really, she got called up 2 years ago. I honestly thought that she was in a pretty good spot. Remember, I was the one who was pitching for her to win the 2024 Women's Rumble. And her be the one to dethrone Rhea. Then when they gave her the match against Rhea at Survivor Series in 2023, I'm like, yeah, that's not happening now. But, you know, she was with Trish, which I thought was a good rub for her. Then they turned her face, which I always thought she was better as a face than a heel, to be honest. But then they put her with Shayna Baszler. And as a tag team, that's not a bad idea. But then they threw them with Sonya Deville, and they started the Pure Fusion Collective, which could have been something, to be honest. But unfortunately, it went nowhere. And now 2/3 of the group got released. So Zoe's kind of like back on her own. And her first match back, when she gets an opportunity to shine by herself, she gets injured and is probably going to be out for like a year probably. Because lately they've been doing like 9 to 12 months, I feel like, for ACLs rather than 6 to 9. But that sucks. That really does suck for Zoey. I do definitely see the potential in her. She just hasn't quite connected all the dots yet. But yeah, another big setback for Zoey, and I feel bad. So hopefully she has a speedy recovery again. It's going to be a while till we see her again. But thoughts and prayers that she does recover well. Again, though, Rhea does get the match pinning Kairi Sane. Welcome back, Kairi. Rusev has a promo saying he admires Tozawa's courage, but he's delusional to challenge him when he's just trying to do what's best for him and fix him. He embraces and challenges with open arms and says afterwards he'll forgive Tozawa's stupidity and forget his existence. This is an interesting segment, though, backstage. So Judgment Day was in their clubhouse chilling. Finn Balor rolls up with Roxanne Perez. And everybody's just like, what's she doing here? And Finn says, now play nice, play nice. The two of them have been chatting for a few weeks. And he'd like to introduce Roxanne to Judgment Day. He's thinking about what Dom said about adding more members. So now he's going to roll that dice. Dom has Finn, JD, and Carlito having his back. But Liv and Raquel don't have anyone. And Roxanne isn't a member just yet. She's just helping out. And Roxanne tries to give some presents. And of course, the one present she gives is Dominic a box full of chicken nuggets. Which we all know Dom loves his tendies, as he says. And Carlito gets a bag of apples. But Raquel snaps and says, leave, and says she'll be telling Liv. Which Finn can't wait for. So that's an interesting twist right there. Like, is this secretly Finn Balor trying to, play some mind games with Dom? Like, is he trying to, get Roxanne to basically be Dom's next woman and have Dom leave Liv for Roxanne? Or is this like Finn and Roxanne playing a little plot behind their backs to blindside Judgment Day when he least expects it? Because we all know that is happening eventually. Finn is splitting from Judgment Day. But Roxanne getting thrown in there? We'll see where that goes. That is a little bit of a different wrinkle for Judgment Day. But we'll see where it goes. Main event was Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso in a non-title match. Basically, the story was Braun Breaker was just trying to wear down Jey for his upcoming matches. And the match, was going good. But then eventually, when Jey went to fight Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins got involved, and the match ended in a DQ. Everyone, from Sami, Zayn, and CM Punk, they all came down and basically, got their shots in. They beat people down. It looked like those babyfaces were going to end on top, but then Logan Paul comes out of nowhere with the one lucky punch and knocks him out to end the show. So, that was Raw. Again, not a lot. It felt like it was a shorter show, but it was good. Like I said, I'm interested in seeing what they do with Roxanne Perez and the Judgment Day. That's kind of like a new wrinkle for them. The qualifying matches were good, although it sucks for Zoey Stark. And I do glad to see Kairi again. Obviously, we're continuing on with Becky and Lyra. We also have this triple threat match for the tag titles this coming week on Raw. I wish it would have saved it for Money in the Bank, but who knows. And Saturday night's main event is looking good so far. It looks like there's going to be 4 matches. No women's matches as of now. Maybe that could change on Friday. Who knows? But, 4 matches right now, which I think is better for Saturday night's main event, especially if it's going to be just a 2-hour show. 4 matches is plenty. Like I said, the first time they did Saturday night's main event, the pacing fell off. It was better the second time, but I feel like if you just take it just to 4 matches, we'll be good. So I'll be back up here, back down here again tomorrow to, of course, review SmackDown. Well, I'm going to try to review SmackDown tomorrow because I am going to be busy during the day before Saturday night's main event, so I'll try to get the SmackDown review in before Saturday night's main event. If not, it is what it is. We will get caught up, though, over the long Memorial Day weekend. So that's my thoughts, guys, on Raw. I gave it a B. Some good stuff on the show. Nothing, like, outstanding, enormous, but good. I liked it. I definitely liked it better than the solid Raw we got last week. So you guys thoughts, get it down in the comment section below, and slap a like on the video, and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, The Club of the Man 93. Also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at The Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'll check it out. I'll catch y'all later. Have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just a pain, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!